Alright, so story for Mama in the beginning of the film follows a man and his two daughters, and you don't really know what's going on in the beginning of the film, but you know something's up. And the man, he's acting a little crazy, and the daughters are a little scared of him. He's driving with his two daughters on a mountainside, and, you know, a road on a mountainside, and it's snowing, so you already know what's going to happen. Oh, he's driving fast, too. He's doing way past the speed limit. That's bad. Don't do that. And he's going real fast, and then whoop, he crashes and he hits a tree, but they're all fine. Everybody's fine. He gets out of the car with his two daughters. He finds a cabin. He, of course, goes, oh, it's a cabin. There can't be anybody in there. Go inside, two daughters. Let's get warmed up. And then, boom, guess what happens? Supernatural force takes him out. It's not really a spoiler. It happens in the first 5 minutes of the movie. It sets up the movie, okay? It takes him out. He's dead, but the two girls remain, and of course it skips 5 years from then. It just skips 5 years into the future, where now you are following the brother of the man that got killed, named Lucas, who is played by Nikolaj something. I can't remember his name. He's the guy from Game of Thrones. He plays a Lannister. I don't know. I don't watch that show. I should. I know, but I don't. He was in Headhunters and stuff, and he also plays his brother. He plays both the brothers in this film, but you know, he's worried about his brother, but he really wants to know where these two girls are. And then 5 years later, after years and years of searching, he finally finds them. And of course, they are in that cabin, and they are feral. They are feral as fudge. And they find them, they try to take care of them. And of course, Jessica Chastain, the star of the film's there. But, you know, she's a like 30-year-old punk rocker, and she's just there. She doesn't really want to deal with these kids, especially since they're pretty much feral, but she goes, you know what, alright, I love this guy, I love this Game of Thrones dude, so I'm gonna stick in there. And of course, what happens when they bring these two girls in? A lot of weird stuff, let's say that. Including a supernatural force named Mama. No spoilers there. If you saw the trailer, or you even look at the poster and read the title of the freaking movie, you know there's some supernatural shit going on. And it's pretty supernatural. So the rest of the movie is pretty much a bunch of supernatural stuff, some, you know, genre cliches like jump scares, and of course a person that's doing a lot of research about this character, this of course this entity, and it's pretty standard stuff. But you know what? I really like the characters here. Jessica Chastain, even though she's not a huge part of the story until much later into the film, she's great in this film. Even though you don't really care for her at first, I like that, because there's so many horror movies where your character is so likable or so hateable. Here she's like in the middle. At first you don't really care for her, but later on when she starts to actually kind of like these two daughters, you really do like her. I really liked her in this film, and you know, I'm going to be bold and say that I liked her in this movie way more than I liked her in Zero Dark 30. I thought she was fantastic in this film. I really liked her, and she's incredibly hot in this film. She was hot in the Zero Dark 30, but that wasn't meant to be hot. Osama bin Laden movie, no, not sexual. But she looked hot in this. Nikolaj, whatever freak his name is, he's a great actor. I know that, but he's not amazing in this, only because he's in the first 30 minutes a lot. Maybe even 40 minutes, then he gets taken out, then he comes back later, and he's not really a big force in the film. He comes back later, but he's just there, kinda, you know? He's not really the main character anymore, but at first he was, and I really liked him. Later on, he gets kinda ditched. All the supporting actors do a great job here as well, especially the two little girls. They are creepy as hell. One is like the 9-year-old that still has some, you know, conscience left. You know, she's not just feral, but the little one is completely feral. She walks like she's freaking Gollum, like everybody keeps saying, but she is insanely creepy, and she's a great actress. I can't wait to see her in I don't know, another creepy movie. You just get her to play all creepy little girls, because she did a good job. But you know, the older one did a good job too, don't get me wrong. So overall, I think the story here, and you know, even the acting, it's, you know, I would even say it's just great here. You know, the story has its, you know, cliches, but for the most part, I thought it was really well done. And you know what? They make you kind of feel bad for the villain in this film. Let me just say that. Don't even want to spoil it too much, but I'll just say that. You kind of feel bad for her. So, there you go. Let's talk about, of course, it's a horror film. Was it scary? Well, Mama is, I'm happy to report, nothing like Don't Be Afraid of the Dark, where it had some atmosphere, and there was a couple of, like, kind of scares. This one is actually pretty damn scary, especially in the atmosphere. I thought the atmosphere was so creepy, especially when you just see little things of the character Mama just like hair floating, and you just maybe see her floor, you just see her in the shadows and stuff. And there's a lot of dark scenes in this film for whatever reason. I don't know. They don't turn the lights on, whatever. But it works. It really does. It's very creepy. And there's even a scene in this film that reminded me of that movie Silent House, I think it was called, from last year, where there's a character that just keeps taking pictures and the flash goes off. And of course, you kind of see where that's going if you've seen any horror movie before. You know, you just start seeing little bits of Mama. I thought that was really creepy. The design of Mama herself, the way she moves, the way she contorts at times, very damn creepy. And you know what? I love the part in this film where he actually took the short little film that I guess this director made a couple years ago or whatever. He took that 3-minute short and actually recreated it in this film and added a little bit of new things in there and just made it, just made it work completely, because that was a really creepy clip. That really, the short film that he made, it was really creepy, and they added it into this film, and I thought that was a really good idea. So you know what? Overall, I think this film is actually just really scary, has a lot of creepy atmosphere. One complaint I do have is that the script isn't amazing, sure. Some characters kind of just get washed away completely, which there's one character in mind, but I don't want to spoil it. I didn't really like the ending. The ending has this kind of bittersweet type ending to it, and I really didn't like that, especially since they showed Mama so much where you can definitely tell it's so CG'd. I mean, it's okay CG, don't get me wrong, and it's a good design, but you see so much of her, you're like, I'm not really scared of her anymore, especially since it was a very bittersweet ending at the end. So, you know what? I still really enjoyed Mama, though, so I'm going to give Mama a 32 out of 40. I really enjoyed it. I definitely think you should see it. Go ahead, do it. So there you go. There's my review. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you, and goodbye.